Reporting on the games you love by people who love to game. The MMO Reporter Network. You're listening to LotRO Reporter on the MMO Reporter Network, brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at audibletrial.com/MMO Reporter. And by Doghouse Systems. Choose your weapon at doghousesystems.com.
Welcome to LotRO Reporter, episode 242. I am your host, Carrie, and this week I am joined, well, as always, by Leonor, but we do have a special guest this week. We are joined by Draculetta. Hello, Draculetta.
Hey, everybody.
He's a Muppet.
Yes?
I was waiting for you to call me the Muppet. You didn't disappoint, Leonor. Thanks.
That's the first thing out of my mouth.
And of course, you have no pants on, so we're all good.
Yes, he's contractually bound today.
No, you, not you, Leonor, not you, Draculetta.
I totally plead the fifth.
All right.
He's pleading.
Yeah. Oh. Well, you had to plead really hard to get you had to plead really hard to get him on the show, I think. But we will.
Well, it's the first time I ever got a Muppet.
All right. We have some big news to talk about, so we probably should get started, don't you think?
Indeed. Draculetta, can you tell us a little bit about yourself real quick?
Sure. What would you like to know?
Cool.
How long have you been playing LotRO?
I have been playing LotRO since right before free-to-play started. So 4 years-ish.
Okay.
I started about, I want to say about a month before free-to-play hit.
Oh.
Did you pick up your lifetime accounts then?
I did not. I missed out on that, actually.
So did you have a subscription then before that happened?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I had a friend that was playing, and he talked me into playing it with him.
Uh-huh.
So I bought like a 6-month subscription, and then found out it was going free to play, and then just decided to keep going with the subscription. So I've always been a VIP.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was VIP for quite a while too. And my other question is, because how surprised are people to find out you're not a girl?
Pretty surprised, actually. It happens constantly. It's so great if I ever get in on a pugging game or whatever, and if I chat, that's the first thing. It's like, oh my God, you're not a girl. You play a girl. You have a girl name, but you're not a girl.
I actually have a friend who plays a male, and people are absolutely shocked to find out that it's a girl that is playing this particular character, because otherwise you would never know. But yeah, I remember the first time I heard you call into CSTM, and it was like, oh, that's not a girl.
That's the first time a lot of people found out too, and everybody was like, oh my God, you're a dude.
It happens more often than you'd think. Looks like you have been busy this week, Draculetta.
I have too many alts is basically what it is.
I see this.
Plus, I play on too many servers, so, it happens.
Mm-hmm. So it looks like from what you wrote in the show notes here, you have probably seen much of West Gondor, yes?
Yes, I have. I did a lot of it when it was on Bull Roar as well, before it went live. But yeah, I've seen a lot of it on live. And
Okay.
it's so pretty. Oh, it's so pretty.
I know
It
it's
is pretty.
I was
Mm-hmm.
squeeing over it last night. Um, so anything else you want to tell us about yourself? I mean, is this your first MMO?
No, actually, I started out with Ultima Online.
You are
So
an old school
I go,
MMO.
I go way back. That's right. I go back when you had to do corpse runs. You died, you had to run back and get your corpse.
I
None
get.
of this fancy res with all your stuff.
Oh wow,
Got
yeah.
my lawn. Yeah, so yeah, I go way back. I played Ultima for about 3 years, probably somewhere around in there, and I was pretty hardcore into it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like I said, I had a friend that was playing LotRO, and he talked me into that, and pretty much switched over to LotRO and stopped playing UO,
Oh,
which I was shocked to find out the other day. It's actually still around.
yes, it is. They're still updating it, from what I understand.
I saw that. I saw they just had a pretty big patch and an update uh, about a month ago, maybe. And I was just shocked to find out that game was still going. I might have to like pop in just to see what it's like.
Yeah, it's still going with a subscription, if I recall correctly.
Mm-hmm.
That's uh, that's the uh, that's the first one after a mud, or was that one a mud, or was that one
Yeah, it was.
considered a mud?
No, it was right after that hit right after the big mud craze.
Okay, okay.
It was probably one of the first what you would call real MMORPGs. There was one other one, and I can never remember what the name of it that was before UO.
Okay, yeah, my gaming history.
I can't remember what it was, but
All right, so
it's the granddaddy of them all, though.
yeah, that is true. That is true. And now that we've completely broken your promise about not talking about anything but LOTRO later, what did you do this week?
I hit level 100. What did you do?
Seriously?
You
Yeah, I hit
did
100.
not.
Mm-hmm.
I hate
I
you.
I heard a coffee mug hit the table.
How did you hit 100? Are you insane?
I
I hit level 100.
prove it.
All right, go on. Start talking about what you did.
All right, what I did. Well, I was going to go play a little bit in West Gondor and was logged in and was starting to respec my character and get that all ready to go. And Chris is like, "Hey, Leonor's sick." Getting to level 100. And we need somebody.
It's called 100-itis.
100-itis. Yeah, yeah. MMO launch day-itis, I think is what that's an official sickness. And we need somebody to come talk to us about update 14. So I went and I joined the boys, and Steve was super nice. He got me coffee and everything. And
Never gets me coffee.
yeah, got me coffee. Got it just like I liked it, with just the right amount of cream and sugar in it. He was so sweet. And I got to talk about update 14 and the producer's letter, and then they kicked me off. And then I quested a little bit different places on different characters over the week. But that was pretty much what I did in game. Yes, it says level 100.
Okay, you were officially insane.
Here's a piece of gear to prove it.
Yep, it says level 100. Okay. All right, I'll have to believe you now.
That's what I did this week.
Yeah, I see.
Okay, so how long did that take you to hit 100?
Actually, pretty long. I did take about, let's see, I got about 2 levels, and that took about maybe a half hour. And I had to do stuff, go out to the store and whatnot. Then I came back. That was about a couple hours. Came back. I don't even think I played. I think I started doing stuff for MMO Reporter, and then got a really bad headache and started getting a little touch of heat stroke. So I ended up laying down for a while, and then after I got back up, I got the last 3 levels in about an hour.
Did you actually quest, or did you just go out in the moors?
Oh, I went to Sword Halls and just farmed that.
Okay. Yeah. He didn't really do the content. Well, he leveled the way he levels, and that's I can't say anything because everybody plays differently.
I'm level 100.
Okay.
What's up, Lobies?
Yeah. I'll have to drag out
Stop
that.
throwing things. Ah.
I'll have to drag out that hoof at you, that I hoofed at you that one day again. All right. So that's what we've been doing in game. All right. And welcome back. We do have quite a bit of news. I'm so excited. Update 14 dropped yesterday. Lanor hasn't seen any of it yet.
It's the thing I've seen so far is the quest to go there.
All right. It's the new Western Gondor zone. Now, Dracula, you said earlier you thought it was really pretty.
Oh yes, it is. It's amazing. But then again, LotRO always does landscape amazingly well. So
Mhm.
that's not a shock that they did a great job at it.
Have you Del Amroth? If you go to the back side of the city, you can kind of jump over this wall, and you can stand there. You can watch the sunrise and sunset over the port. And that was really pretty. I stood there. I just let my character stand there through like a whole day-night cycle and just watch the sun rise and set over the ocean there. It was really cool. And then I was on a bull roarer special character, so I jumped off and didn't die. It was pretty awesome. I was like, how am I gonna get out of here? I'll just jump into the ocean, see what happens.
Oh boy.
I'm really excited about the epic story. It's volume 4, Strength of Sauron. So we're done with all those guys back, and we're gonna go after the big bad at this point.
Yep, apparently. Unfortunately, I thought that we were going to get an epic battle in this update. I think I read something early on that it was going to get one, but boy, was I wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
when that's coming out now.
They had hinted it's going to be update 15.
Mm-hmm. So it should be in 16.
No. We are getting some instance play between 14 and 15, though. But we can talk about that in a minute in the producer's letter. Leonor, when you're grinding sword halls, how many essence pieces did you get?
There were 2. There was one at level 96. It gave me, I want to say 300 or 600 extra morale. And there was another one that dropped later on at like 98 or 99. I can't remember which one. And I ended up not reading it because I was in the middle of combat and I accidentally sold it at the vendor.
You can buy those back.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted 100.
Draculetta, on all of your characters that you've been running through, have you seen many of the essence pieces?
I've had 2 drop, and neither one of them were appropriate for my class. I got 2 power. Well, I guess power's not bad for anybody, but I was hoping to get agility.
Okay.
Because I'm a hunter is my main.
Okay.
So yeah. They're not dropping a lot, which is by design.
Right.
I actually did get to jump into something on Gondor today. There's an area where it's really, really hard to get through, and I don't know exactly what you're supposed to be doing there, but somebody was advertising in the world chat, 12 out of 24 something crowns. The area is called something crown. I can't remember the name of it. So we all got on our worsties when we got 24 and raided this place. And it's an outdoor area. It's a long path. I think, Carrie, you probably went through that.
And the trolls look like wagons.
Yes.
It's actually a 6-man area, but yeah, the trolls look like wagons.
6-man, but unfortunately, as soon as you kill something, they respawn almost immediately. And you can't keep up with it. So people ended up forming a 24-man raid to go through there, and holy cow, was that fun! But there were still people dying in there. So it was a bit crazy. I knew that there was no raid content, and I thought that this was just kind of a makeshift raid, something that somebody put
Mm-hmm.
together. But it almost seems necessary.
Look, they made you guys raid content.
Unintentional raid content.
Yeah,
Yay!
that area is insane. There are
Well,
so many mobs stacked up,
yeah.
and those trolls, I forgot I ran through there, and those trolls have an insane amount of hit points.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like I just hightailed it as fast as I could get out of there because I'm like, there ain't no way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then somebody said that they got the hardest essence in the game, which this is like the second day this
So yeah.
update is out. So he says that he got a level 100 physical mitigation essence,
Nice.
which was pretty high. I was like, oh, that's cool. So they are dropping.
Cool. Cool. So as we know, the level cap is now 100. I will probably be there in a couple weeks. Leonor's made it there. So, hi. The City Watch of Dol Amroth. When you hit level 100, you should get the quest for that, Leonor. So have fun in Hytbolt 2.0.
Yay.
Now, last night, guys, I couldn't answer Chris's question. He asked what we got for doing Adult Amroth. And I couldn't even answer the question. I don't know if we're getting essences, gear, first stage weapons. I don't know what the big prize is for finishing up Del Amroth. Does anybody know?
Pizza.
Pizza's not lore appropriate. I'm sure hobbits made pizza, but it's not lore appropriate.
Oh, the fact that you know that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, it's probably gear.
Okay.
Of some sort.
I wish I could remember where I read that. I'm gonna have to see if I can find that now. I'm pretty sure it is gear.
Okay, so it's like a Hytbolt set of Del Amroth.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. They did say something about there was swan gear you could get, so I bet that's where you get it. I asked if there was a swan hat, and they told me no. I was very sad. So I'm sure everybody's excited to know that their friends list can now be increased to 100.
Yay.
And the New World channel was on when I logged in. It was frightening.
Ugh. Yeah.
Yeah, we had people trying to get back to GLFF again, trying to hoard everybody back, and it's like, what are you doing? It's very strange.
Yeah, world chat is a very scary place.
Yeah, I logged in Brandywine, went, ooh, okay, spec. I didn't pay any attention to it. I'm going to turn it off, I'm sure.
Yeah, I just created a new tab and just filtered it out of my main and just filtered it into that tab, and I can go over there if I want. That's what I do with GLFF as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's worse than GLFF ever thought about being, though. It's just like, it's insane what's happening in that world chat.
Well, Chris likened it to Baron's chat and WoW, which from what I understand, is like pretty bad. So, anyway, it is possible to turn it off. There should be a clicky button or an unread it button in your tab where it scrolls through. You can unclick it. It's just like another channel, right? So you can unclick the channel.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you don't ever want to see it, you can just turn it off. And surprisingly, the same day, I wasn't expecting a producer's letter on the same day an update dropped, but we got one. Oh, before we go on, was there anything anybody else wanted to talk about update 14?
I'm level 100.
Go eat your lore appropriate pizza, Leonor. All right. We also had a producer's letter. There's three big things that I got out of this. Well, four big things. They're not giving me a war elephant, and I'm really not happy about that. I wanted a war elephant. I figure if we can get Ent play, I can have a war elephant.
Oh, jeez.
Can't you see the hobbits riding war elephants? Come on, it'd be so fun.
I'm surprised that the hobbits can't ride the shrews.
They're on the right side.
Since we got them, I mean, why not?
Yeah.
So you're saying we need war shrews?
Yes!
Sure.
Oh, that's it. Oh. thought,
a raid of hobbits on a war shrew. That would just be
oh, I would
I'm
level,
sure
Right.
I would level a hobbit to 90 or to Rohan just to ride across Rohan on my war shrew. I totally would do that.
I'm sure Radagast would.
Don't start there. No, no, no. Those bunny sleds, no. No. The big thing, one of the big things I noticed is the Beornings are going to be starting at level 1. What do you guys think of that?
you know, I am probably going to be in the minority here because I guess there was a big player outcry for this, but I don't see why they're starting them at level 1. I thought 50 was fine.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I'm not looking forward to grinding through 100 levels with another class, but
Yeah.
okay.
Now this one I could see the next Valor sale buying that for this.
Yeah. What I think they might are thinking about doing, which would make sense to me, is to when you buy the Beorning class, maybe they could package it together with that,
Hmm.
and you would pay a little more for it, but you would be able to jump right to 50. I
Yeah,
don't know if that's
that's kind
something.
of what I was talking about a couple of weeks ago as well. I thought that the class was probably going to be a little bit expensive because it would be pretty comparable to that level 50 jump that you could get, that item that you could get, and it would probably level 50. I mean, you're stuck at level 50. You need gear, you need stuff. I mean, you're going to be going right into Moria right away. I mean, you're going to be naked. You're going to be a bear, but you're going to be basically naked. So you need to get gear and stuff like that. And I was kind of thinking that they were going to put the level 50 price tag on it.
Mm. Well, appears that they may not do that if you're starting at level 1. I have always thought that it's going to be about the same price as the Warden and the Runekeeper class myself.
Which I think they're like 795, I want to say.
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm
795, 750, something like that.
Yeah.
If they're starting at level 1, it kind of doesn't make sense to not have them have their own starting area or at least their own starting
They are.
store.
They will have a starting area. That's producer's letter did say they would have their own starting area.
Oh, that takes care of that.
Yep. So we were talking about this last night. So basically, what I think is going to happen, you're going to spend a couple hours in their starting area, and then you're going to get dumped at like level 10 or 15 into Bree, and then
Yeah.
you follow the same leveling path everybody else does.
That would make sense. Not really lore-wise, but that would make sense.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna bring up. That's like really not lore appropriate, but
Yeah. Maybe
then
you
again,
cannot maybe you can't turn into a bear and Bree. I don't know.
well, no, you can't because they had already said the only way you can do that is you have to build up rage, and you'll have to be in combat to do that.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So no bear.
So at least there's that. We won't have 1,000 Beornings bears running around Bree, but still.
Mhm.
I'm in the camp where I don't even understand how they're making it into a class when they're a race, but then again, I guess I'm just being nitpicky about the lore.
Yeah. Well, they said that it's only for men, right? Men and women, but the race of man, right?
Right, it's only race of man, but you
It's really
can't.
should be
Uh,
the race of Beorning, is what your point is.
right, exactly, because they weren't really. Beorning in the lore was a race of people. They weren't like a
hmm
class.
Right, right, right.
But then again, that's just being Nick. But I'm looking forward to playing one. I'm gonna buy it for sure because I'm assuming everybody's gonna have to buy it. I doubt VIPs will get it free.
Yeah,
I'll be shocked if they do.
no, they're not gonna get it free. I'm sure. I'm sure.
Well, especially not with all the work they're gonna have to put into it now. If they're gonna create a whole new starter zone for them.
hmm
Yeah. All right, gents. What do you think of the no second level clap increase this year?
I think the second level cap was timed perfectly.
Hmm.
I think, unfortunately, we're going to be waiting for this, and I don't know. I was thinking about it yesterday, and I'm like, it's like 3 months we're going to be at level 100, and then we're going to have this 3 months where we're going to get some other update, I think it was, and then and then we get the level cap again, or was it shorter than that?
I thought the level cap came with 15.
It originally was supposed to, yes.
Okay. Um, it's 3 months. I think that we're going to be pretty much done with this content in 3 months. I think that it was timed actually pretty well.
And
So
I agree 100% with that, because with the amount of content that is here for this update, I think, like you said, 3 months was a perfect time.
mhm.
We would be ready to move on to more content, and we would go ahead and get those other 5 levels.
I think the main reason why a lot of people did not want to have another 5 levels again, it was because that they would have to break their legendary weapons and remake them yet again.
Mm-hmm.
And that issue is addressed now.
Right, which is the
So
third big change. Yep.
yes, and that's a big change. Starting at level 100, the weapons are going to be imbued, and they're going to level with you up to cap, apparently. Uh,
Right.
I think that is probably the main reason why people were saying don't do another level cap so soon. But now that this issue is addressed, they're probably going to be reversing a little bit and saying, well, why don't we do it now? They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it, of course, but I think that this is the main reason why.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think you're right, it was because, that was the first thing I said when I found out we were getting, the 100, and then we were going to jump up to 105. I'm like, so we're only going to have a weapon for 5 levels, and then we're going to have to grind again for new first stagers if you want them.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, then now they're reversing the LI system, and they're going to try to fix it, which Lord knows it needs it. So why not do the cap?
Yeah.
Then again, it's kind of like the Beorning thing. Apparently, a lot of people complained about having 2 level caps that close together.
Yeah, but I think, as Leonor said, I also kind of think the reasoning was because we're going to be breaking our allies in 5 levels
Mm-hmm.
again.
Right.
So they probably could have picked one or the other of these two things and made everybody happy. Now they're kind of confusing people because they picked both. Because I'm confused because it makes though, okay, think about this. Okay, we're going to do this LI system thing. Oh, and by the way, you're going to go to 105, so then your LIs are going to be 105. They're going to do the no level cap thing at the same time they're going to do the LI change probably in 15. So it kind of does make sense that they've decided not to do that second level cap if they're going to start with a new mechanism.
Mm-hmm.
I see kind of more that I think about it why they're doing it like they're doing it, but I think they were just trying to make as many people happy as possible.
Right. And it kind of has to suck on their end a little bit too, because they were planning on they were planning on giving us another 5 levels at that time as well. So I bet you they have to adjust a lot of things in that new content that's coming up.
Well, I guess to their credit, at least they have time to make all those changes now, though.
Yeah.
Since they reversed course this early in it, they can change stuff now instead of trying to rush it. So I will give them a lot.
Delete,
Yeah,
delete,
exactly.
delete,
No, it's
delete.
like, okay, turn this down, turn the hard button down, turn up the easy button a little bit.
There you go. Real quick, with sword halls, we were finding that it was not just a pushover, that it was pretty challenging. We were doing tier 2, and we weren't doing the challenge mode. We were just trying to kill the regular mobs in there and then the bosses that come out every once in a while. But we were having a tough time, even with our best gear on level. And there were other people that were talking about other instances that they were playing them on level. Um,
I haven't heard.
Sammy, which is Sambrog. Uh, there were people that were having problems in that too, so the difficulty is up.
Great. So now I can barely kill one thing again with my mini. I was enjoying being able to smash more than one thing at a time with my mini.
I'm right with you with my lore master. I'm tired of dying on my lore master.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
have you seen the new updated Lore Master spell, the Ring of Fire?
Yes, that is awesome. That
It's
is amazing. I love
huge.
it. I
It's
love it.
huge.
All right, I'm gonna have to go ask my lore master friend to please show me his new spell.
Holy crap, Carrie. It's about it's the size of the have you seen the housing item where it's like a flat
Yes,
cement pillar that you can
yes,
get on and play, music or
yes,
spar on?
yes.
It's that huge.
Wow,
It is. I casted it last because I always use Ring of Fire, and I cast that last night, and I was like, "Holy crap!"
that's awesome. Did they
I was
pump?
like burning everything.
So
That's awesome.
did they pump up the damage to it too, or do they just make it like bigger?
It
Yeah.
seemed like to me I was doing more damage with it too.
All right.
Of course, I did respec when I respec for fire, so that might make some difference too. But yeah, that Ring of Fire effect is amazing now.
Awesome. There's an announcement today that there will be a live chat with the executive producer on July 16th at 3 p.m. Eastern on the LotRO twitch.tv/LotRO stream. So he will be taking questions about Update 14 and the recent producer's letter.
Cosmetic weapons.
So it's never gonna happen, Leonor.
Hey, our
I know.
legendary items are scaling with us now. Leveling with us now.
Alright.
Uh-huh. First the
Uh-huh.
mailbox,
Well,
now
you
legendary items. Cosmetic weapons is next.
We'll see. I think they're more likely to give us housing areas in Gondor than they are to give us cosmetic weapons, but that's just me.
I want housing in the path of the dead. That's where I want
me
housing.
too.
That is so cool. Is that not the coolest?
It is the best area.
I so want a house there.
It is so creepy. The Sapiens took me in there, and I was so glad I had a character that they couldn't like hit, because I'm looking at this going, because they just kind of swoop down at you out of this path of spirits. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the only Shield forum post we had this week is from Delia, and there were two questions that I pulled out of there that I thought were interesting. The first was, is somebody asked if there will be more skirmishes coming in the future. And he said this is Sapien, said he hadn't heard about any direct conversations about more new skirmishes. He knows they're talking about changes and improvements to epic battles, and but he doesn't know anything about skirmishes. I'd like to see some more skirmishes myself.
I like skirmishes a lot. I wouldn't mind seeing a lot, some of the older instances that are not on the instance panel show up as skirmishes. There's a few in Agmar, and there's a few in Lothlorien.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you want those to show up as skirmishes?
Yes.
Oh yeah, like the elf, save the elf one.
Yeah, there's like 3 different areas, and you need people to hold those areas while other people go into where the orc encampments are and burn down totems and stuff so the orcs stop coming.
Okay.
I could see those being skirmishes now that you mentioned that, though. I mean,
Mhm.
that would make total sense to convert those into a skirmish. I don't think it would be real difficult for them. They would just have to make a couple changes to the AI and stuff, I think.
Stuff that they would have to put gear at the end of it, and they would have to scale.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which they've got scaling down pretty well.
Or scaling everything.
Yeah, and it works well too.
Yeah, it does.
Because I mean, at first, at least I didn't think it worked out real well, but they kind of tweaked it, and yeah, they've got it down pat now.
So are there lots of level 10s and aboves that are heading out in the moors nowadays?
Yes.
Are they?
Cannon fodder like crazy.
Okay, that was my question. Are they able to do anything, or are they just dying a lot?
Lots and lots of cannon fodder.
All right.
The older creeps out there that do a lot more damage because of their rank, they can kill them guys pretty easily. There seemed like there was a little bit of talk about the scaling of physical and tactical mitigation on them were actually higher than than good free players with good gear and stuff, but I think that's ironed out now.
Okay, that's good. That's good. And then the other point was somebody talked about that great, gorgeous new aquamarine fabric that's in Dol Amroth, and I'm glad I'm not the only one that noticed it because I just stood there and looked at it because it was so floaty and pretty. I bet you guys didn't even notice it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I must have missed that. I'm gonna have to go try to find this now.
All right.
Go on, Carrie. Explain it to us.
So as you head into the city of Dol Amroth, look at the top of the walls of the city, and they've got the pillars in the like the the city market area and stuff like that, and there's material that goes between the pillars, and there's a material that goes between pillars at the top of the wall. And it is this really, really almost see-through gauzy material that just kind of floats. And it's like one of the most delicate things I have seen LotRO do. You really get a sense of like this really fine silken material. It's amazing. They're really good at tapestry and material feeling heavy. They've managed to pull this off and make it feel really light.
Wow.
Yeah, it's even, how in Lothlorien there's the tents there for Aragorn and those guys. Mm-hmm. They don't feel super like light and gauzy like they're supposed to. This does. This feels like just this light material.
Well, I'm gonna have to go check this out now.
Yeah. And that is our news. All right, Leonor, what did you know?
The second skirmish tutorial is busted.
Which epic?
When you become level 20, and you pick up the skirmish quest to defend South Bree.
Yes.
That one's fine. That's the second one. The second one is when you defend the Prancing Pony.
Yes.
Unfortunately, there's some weird thing going on with the skill trees that prevent you from continuing through that quest. You will be able to go to the NPC, pick up the warrior skill for your skirmish soldier, and then you talk to the other NPC to slot it and hit confirm. For some weird reason, our skill trees are blocking that.
Oh.
So what you need to do is you need to completely take all of your points out of your skill trees, and make sure that it's at the panel that you can choose either red, yellow, or blue on. Which tree that you want to pick, and just hit OK. Don't try not to click any of those trees. Close the panel, and then for some weird reason you can slot that skill for your skirmish soldier and then hit confirm and continue it.
Okay, that is weird. That is very weird.
I was helping a buddy out today, and actually yesterday, kind of late at night, and we were waiting for a GM to fix this. Well, we actually had other people coming up, and they were like, "Hey, is this busted for you?" And we're like, "Yeah, it's busted." So I don't know when this bug was introduced, but people are running into it right now.
I can tell you that it must have been this update because I just did the skirmish tutorial last week on a new character I created, and it worked fine.
Okay.
The GM did tell me that it was a ongoing issue and that they have people looking at it right now.
Okay. At 3 a.m.
At 3 a.m.
Bob the server just has to mess stuff up. Silly Bob. Okay, and that was Did You Know? Our 3-mans were postponed this week because we had a new update and nobody knew what level they were going to be, and we had to respec everything and stuff like that. So next week. Yep, next week. And then, so that was Did You Know? And an update on the skirmishes. All right, we have 2 letters this week in community Now, also, guys, if you have something that you want us to announce, like an event or something, please email us at lotro.reporter@gmail.com. I'll be happy to talk about it. You need to give us a couple weeks. If you want to tweet us the information, I will be happy to take that as well and use it and put it on the thing. So if there's any events you guys want us to announce, just let us know. Our first letter is from Kazrin, and she writes, "Hi, I just wanted to thank you for the walkthrough episode. I listened to it whilst driving and can't wait to actually see it. I look forward to the next show because I love hearing what Carrie and Leonor have to say. I started,
Aw.
I know, thank you. She started on Elamdir and have my largest clan of alts there with several 95s.
Ooh.
It seemed that people had just about stopped playing on that server, and I was very sad. I even tried ESO, but it seemed a rather heartless game compared to LotRO. Happily, several of my friends from Elamdir found new enthusiasm by either transferring characters or rolling up new ones on Brandywine.
Uh-oh.
Since I'm an altaholic with little clans on Elamdir, Landerval, Crick Hollow, and Brandywine, I was set and am happily leveling again. My goodness, woman. 1, 2, that's a lot. I have tunes on Crick Hollow, Landerval, and Brandywine, but not that many. So she was all set happily and leveling again. We do Scrade and Skirm, but my first love is leveling. I really like the idea of smaller, more frequent updates with new levels to earn and new places to see. Like many, I'm not a fan of the epic battles. With that said, about the ability to complete either solo or fellowship for the new area seems like an excellent idea. Thank you again for all you do for us. Well, Kazrin, thank you so much for listening.
Oh, yes.
Yes, and
I like the way that the updates are coming out as well. The small chunks are a really good idea. And I really like the fact that they are releasing small chunks and looking at older things too and fixing things as they go and updating as they go. I kind of was angry in the beginning because they said that they were going to be looking at all kinds of systems and whatnot, and then they ended up not doing that as I thought that they were going to do and just started talking about adding all this new stuff in. I was like, no, wait, that's broken. That's been broken for like a year. Fix that. Well, they have been doing some stuff like that now, just mixing it along in with the updates, and I'm very, very happy with that.
yeah, yes. That is true. And I was actually thinking about this the other day. The two updates this year, if they're both 7.95 TP for premium players, is still it's like half of what an expansion would cost, or even
Hmm.
less than half of what the last expansion cost. And we're probably getting expansion amount of expansion area.
Oh, I think so. I think with all the updates and stuff, and then we still have things coming yet, I think that it would justify a full expansion and a small update area.
Mhm. Yep. All right, Kevin wrote us. We got the letter last week, but we were kind of busy with LOTRO players not being raiders, and he had questions. And Draculetta, we'd love to hear your answers to these questions as well. So his first question is, what is your favorite region and why? Leonor.
Agmar.
Seriously?
Seriously love Agmar. There's
Okay.
dragons walking around, there's huge turtles, there's zombies, there's undead, there's um all the Agmarim and not the Kargals, but actually they are Kargals, aren't they?
Mhm.
Yeah. There's giants. The Rift is there, which is one of my favorite raids. Um, I'm still looking, if people remember this from last year,
The
I'm
hand.
still looking for the hand, the giant hand that just crawls around, looking to still take a picture of it. That's still my favorite area.
Okay.
Okay, on Landerable, you and I will go to the hand because I know where it usually is.
Awesome.
We will go to the hand, Leonor.
That will be my wallpaper.
All right, Draculetta, how about you? What is your favorite area region?
Ebendim.
Hmm.
It's I like the way it's laid out. I think it's pretty. The lake is amazing. It's even better now since you don't have to swim it. I remember when it was EverSwim, when there was no boats to get across that silly lake, and you had to swim the whole thing. So,
I can't imagine. I can't.
and I think that was one of the first areas I think where they got, after they updated it, they got the quest flow right.
Mm-hmm.
It flows really well, and it's really good leveling.
Yeah, whoever did that just nailed it. They did a really, really good job. My favorite area out of the whole place is the um, Anuminas, of course.
Mhm.
Yep.
That whole area is just great. It's beautiful and dangerous. It's just great.
That is really cool. Actually, my favorite area would have to be the Shire. And the reason being is every time I go through there, I'm finding something I missed the first time or didn't remember I saw. And then the light that they have managed to pull into that area during the sunrises and sunsets and is just beautiful. I'll actually just take my horse and ride through there because it's such a pretty area to ride through. Where do you do all your crafting? Oh, and his favorite area is Archet because of the many fond beginning memories. The next question is, where do you do all your crafting? He does most of his stuff in Bree and then Galtrev when he gets to that level range. You don't craft, do you, Leonor?
Every once in a while, I can be bribed or blackmailed into crafting, and for that, I go to 21st Hall because I can port and be right there.
Okay. Draculetta, you do a lot of crafting, right?
Yes, I do. I
Uh,
do a ton of crafting because I have a lot of alts.
and where's your usual crafting place?
It depends what alt I'm on. I have some lower levels, and those I go to Estelden,
Okay.
and my higher levels I go to Aldburg.
Yeah,
Oh.
the one in Aldburg is really nice because it's like turn around and it's there, and then you turn around and you go to the rooms. It's like all
Yeah, it's
compact.
exactly. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Vault, and the auctioneer is even there too. So if you want to go to the AH, it's right there. The vault's there.
Mhm. Yeah, for my higher level stuff, I do Aldeburg, and then for the lobies, it's usually Bree because the auction. Yeah, the auction, everything's right there in Bree now too. It's just that
Hmm.
I don't think they have the superior forges and stuff in Bree.
Yeah, actually they changed that
Oh,
a
that's not.
couple of updates ago. Everything is superior now.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful.
So once you do your quest to unlock the superior that you need, you can go to any crafting node and it'll be superior.
I was so happy to see them make scraps and unmake scraps and make scraps to level because I got 2.5 levels on a character the other day
Oh
doing
yeah.
that. All
And
right.
that's wonderful if you're doing Scholar.
I bet some of those scholar mats, it's like I've never found enough scholar mats to do some of that stuff with.
Yeah, Scholar's just a nightmare.
Yeah, I get to a certain level and it's like, okay, do I just want to sell these mats or dump these mats or whatever because
Mhm.
I'm not going to find enough mats. Question 3. If I'm in a free parade in the moors and I am standing in the middle of everyone, how are the wargs able to find me and kill me so quickly? Well, I'm guessing you're probably cannon fodder if you're less than level 95 or 100.
That is pretty much true. There's two things going on there. First of all, if it's a bunch of wargs, wargs really don't have range attacks. All their attacks, most of their attacks are all melee, especially all their big damage ones. And if they can find the easy target to hit and then run, you're going to be that target. You're going to be easy renowned for them. They're going to come out and hide again and then hit the next lowest rank that they can get. So yeah, they're going to find you all the time. So just get the best gear that you can, try and stay alive as best as you can, and by doing that, the wargs might stay there longer and they might be able to be killed off by your group if you can survive a little bit longer.
Yeah, and it's not because you're wearing bacon scented cologne. Um, what is something that you hope to see in the future of LotRO? Draculetta?
Mordor. I can't wait to get to Mordor. Just running around Mordor is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
I have to agree with him. And all the orcs better look different.
Yeah. They did a really good job on the new enemy looks in Gondor. They definitely look like they're came from the east. Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to seeing what the Shire looks like and how they handle the aftermath in the Shire.
Scorching?
The
Scorching of the Shire?
the scourging of the Shire. I am very interested to see how they handle that.
I think you can get a very close idea of it from the Trouble in Tuckborough instance, skirmish.
Right, but how are they going to handle that? Are we going to show up in? Are we going to have instance layers where the people who finished the Mordor content sees a different Shire than the people who haven't finished the Mordor content? How they're going to handle that part?
True.
Yeah, that's what I'm interested to see. Let's see. And yes, we have heard of the two blue wizards of the Lord of the Rings lore. Tolkien never really wrote a story for them or went into any detail except saying that they went into the East. In some of his letters, he mentioned they may have failed their quest and become evil leaders, or maybe they fought great battles of their own that greatly influenced what happened in Middle-earth. Did you ever notice in Eastern Rohan that there are certain Easterlings called the Blue Caste? I've always believed that this was Turbine's nod toward the Blue Wizards, and that they follow the line of thought of them turning evil and then set up enemy armies. What do you guys think of this theory?
They could be. I know Turbine does like to grab a hold of just that little piece of lore that's not expounded on that they can just run with.
Mm-hmm.
And for the most part, they do an amazing job at that. So I never really connected the two, but he could be right in saying that, though. I mean, I could see it, I guess.
Yeah.
It's kind of a stretch, but
yeah, but it's possible. They've stretched some stuff so thin sometimes you can see through it.
yeah, exactly. That's why I said for the most part they do a good job at it. But...
yeah. And he asked if somehow you could channel LotRO through Game Shark or Game Genie. Can I make it so that I can get more gold jewelry? Leonard was kind enough to give you the codes.
Yes, I did look it up. For the Game Genie, you can type in SLXPLOVS. For the Game Shark, you have to put in a master code first, which is 8DEB234A 4C8DC5EC. Then the actual code is 4A99A22B5828 4D2D. Now, if you actually have one of those older Pro Action replays, it's 7E001E14, 7E001E2W, and then 7E001E3.
LotRO reporter does not promise you're not going to get banned. No. If you use these codes, no. We take no responsibility for anything, ever. And then his last comment was, wouldn't it be funny if part of the epic storyline in the future involved that little hobbit pretending to be a Black Rider in the Shire, turning it into an actual Black Rider? Little stretch of the lore there, but that would be hilarious. And then they make a raid out of it, and it's an insanely difficult raid, and that little hobbit wipes everyone countless times. That would be funny, yes. I do love that storyline in Benfurling there, where you've got the little guy in the black cloak.
I would like to see him as a warband or a world boss.
Oh no, I just like to see the little guy get his the screwing of the Shire there. He comes back as kind of, gets his stuff together and is actual leader of something.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yes, the Black Rider is going to protect Benfurling.
I am leader of the Resistance.
Pretty much. All right, Leonor, so tell us about our sponsors, please.
If you are looking for a PC, then check out doghousesystems.com and use the coupon code MMOReporter to double your RAM. And if you are looking for some new audiobooks, try audibletrial.com/MMOReporter to get 1 month free and one book free
Right.
on CD that you can listen to.
Mm-hmm.
That's not really reading. Oh yeah.
It's all your brain listens to it. Yes. We also have our Patreon campaign that we're doing. It's www.patreon.com/MMOReporter. I just checked. We are up with we have 9 patrons at up to $40 a month.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you would like to support this show or MMO Reporter's other shows, pop us a couple of dollars over there. We spend a lot of time on these shows because we really love playing these games and giving news out to you guys. So if you could help us out, that would be great.
You can, if you'd like to contact us and leave us letters, we'd be happy to answer your questions or even speculate with you a little bit if you'd like. You can email us at lotro.reporter@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter at LotRO Reporter. You can check us out on Facebook. Just search for LotRO Reporter. You can leave us a voicemail at 616-666-6778 or use the widget on the right-hand side of your screen when you visit the site. You can check us out on YouTube at youtube.com/user/MMOReporterNetwork. Again, our site is lotroreporter.com. You can also be sure to check us out and follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/MMOReporter. You can follow me on Twitter at TheCarryMac. It's TheCarimac. How can I follow you, Leonor?
They can Twitter me at Leonor, Layanor, and Draculetta. Can they get a hold of you anyway?
They can follow me on Twitter at Draculetta_72. That's DRACULETTA_72. Also, they can find me over on the LotRO Players portal, which is lotroplayers.mymiddleearth.com. I do a lot of stuff over there and do podcasts as well.
Do you do a blog?
I do not do a blog.
Do a blog.
I've been thinking about it.
You
I've
better.
also been thinking about starting a, not LotRO related, but starting a game podcast as well.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. That would be awesome.
I have a quick small story that a friend of mine has reminded me. He just joined LotRO a couple days ago.
Welcome.
And he was in the starter area for men, I think.
Mhm.
Anyway, he was in a starter zone, and it was very strange. He said that there were, in his words, a bunch of midgets running around trying to kill each other. They were all dressed in blue. They were all level 1, and they were all hitting each other with sticks.
What server is he on?
Brandywine, of course.
Okay, so it couldn't have been a role-playing video.
There's nothing more sillier than Brandywine.
No. The reason I was asking, because it possibly could have been an RP group, though how you would have gotten out of the starting area at a level. Was he an Archet, maybe?
It was an Archet.
Okay. So then they just got a group of people together. If it was on Landerval, I'd say that they were doing this for RP purposes, but it's Brandywine. They just might have been doing it for silly purposes.
Yeah, he said it might have been around like 30 people there. He said it was just a bunch of them.
Wow, that's interesting.
All at level 1 in the starter zone. Like,
and level 1's really heavily layered, so you have to pull people up to you.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah. Draculetta, is there anything else you wanted to share with us?
Go play in the Pass of the Dead. It's amazing.
Oh, well, thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Oh, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it, and I had fun.
Good. Leonor, it's been the usual.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening and downloading the podcast. And as always, we hope to see you in game.
Okay, we're live.
Oh, we are live, yes.
Okay, Draculetta, we have a few questions for you before the show starts. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, do you swear to talk about LotRO and LotRO things while playing or at least Googling LotRO?
I do.
Do you swear to have no pants on?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, better get busy. Do you swear to be the first in line to buy the autobiography entitled The Bad Bad Carrie Mack, written and edited by Leonor and Amama Setz?
He didn't say yes.
Do you swear to like me on Facebook and join my Farmsville too and help me get baby bottles for all my farm animals?
I can't do farm bill. Sorry.
Do you
You're
swear?
one of those people, huh?
Do you swear that Han Solo shot first?
He did shoot
He
first.
did shoot first.
And do you swear to have super duper awesome fun time on this show tonight?
Indeed, I do.
Okay.